Are you preparing for a steering committee presentation? By the end of this video, I'm going to share with you everything you need to have in your presentation so that you can have a successful outcome. And if you want to be a project slayer, stick around to the end of this video because I have what you need to know on how projects fail and what you can do to stop it. Hi, if you're new here, welcome. Subscribe to my channel for the best career and project management advice, coming to you every Wednesday with a brand new video. Now, if you're excited like I am about how you can wow your steering committee with the best and most awesome presentation, well, like this video and let's get to it. Purpose of a steering committee. Okay, before I can go into the presentation and what exactly you need in it, we have to just get clarity on the purpose of the steering committee. Your steering committee is there to help you as a project manager remove roadblocks, ensure you're aligned to strategy. For a lot more information as to what steering committees do, I do have a video that I created that please go check it out. I'll definitely give you more in-depth information. But we're going to talk all about the presentation. All right, I find it quite funny that I'm doing this video on steering committees and a presentation, and I actually have a presentation today that I'm giving to a first-time steering committee. So I already have my presentation all set up. So I want to give you all the things that I do that is going to ensure its success. These are tried and true techniques I do over and over and get accolades for. So I want you to get these same accolades. So tip number one is the first thing you want to do in your presentation is you want to have a reminder of all the key elements of your project. So what are these things? It's like the scope statement. It's a priority matrix. It's the roles and responsibility. It's the overall timeline. Things that are critical to the project that you need to have there to remind everybody what they all agreed to. Because interestingly enough, even though you're not going to spend time here, nor should you ever, you can always send it out as pre-read, I want you to have it in the beginning of your presentation. Because there will be points in time throughout the life cycle of your project when you're going to have some challenges and you need to go back to that scope statement. You need to go back to the priority matrix. And you don't have to search for it. Why? Because it's in your presentation. It really is huge and makes a big difference and just keeps everyone on track and focused and reminded. So definitely add that. Project update. This is the second section I always add to my steering committee presentations. Now, why is this always second? Because sometimes if I don't have anything else to share with them, then I'll just give everything out as a pre-read and I'll actually cancel the steering committee meeting because executives are super smart. They can read. Haha, right? But when you do the update, it's really important you do it in a very specific way. You want to use a stoplight system. You want to be short and sweet. You don't want anything long-winded. So I usually just pull out the deliverables, and with each deliverable, I will actually put a stoplight status, and then I'll give a little comment, just a little summary so they understand what's going on. If I have any issues, I'm going to talk about it in my steering committee, but at least it gives them an idea of here's what we agreed to, here's what the project's delivering on, and I want to let you know if it's green, that means everything's on track. Woohoo, thumbs up. If it's yellow, which by the way, never be afraid of the color yellow, particularly when it comes to steering committee status updates. It just means that I'm giving you a heads up. There is a potential risk, we're working on it, but you need to be aware in case it doesn't go according to what we're trying to do, which is get it out of the yellow. So that's just something really important. And by the way, if I do have yellows, I will spend a little bit of time in my steering committee explaining them and telling them what we're doing to resolve it. And last but not least is the red, which is, whoa, I have an issue, need your immediate roadblock. Okay. Couple of things here when it comes to the updates. If you have reds that they pop up and you don't have a steering committee, you need to escalate that right away. So do not wait for your steering committee. But the reason why I even have the red in there is because there are times when I was green to yellow and now I'm red. And I want to show them the progression that I've shared with you that I thought we were going to have issues, and now the issues actually came to fruition. Some issues are not a rush, others are. So play that one by ear if you're going to escalate it or not, or wait to the meeting. Approvals and discussions. Okay, so in your PowerPoint presentation, because I'm making the assumption your presentations are all done in PowerPoint. I know majority of organizations, that's how they communicate. So on this section that I put in the slide deck, this is where all the meat and potatoes lie. So these are the approvals and the discussion items that I bring to the table, knowing based on the life cycle of my project, based on the milestones, based on what's going on, that I want to bring to their attention. So some things can be very basic, like, hey, we just just finished creating something, we want to show it to you, and I need your approval that you're good with this and we can proceed and move forward by executing on it. Or it could be discussion point. There could be some issues popping up in the project that I may need roadblock removal for, so I'll bring that under discussion. So this is really the heartbeat of your steering committee in your presentation. It's all the discussion points and the approvals. Big hint here, 1 item per slide. Do not jam pack everything. I'd rather have you have 10 slides with 10 items than try to fit 10 items on one slide. It distracts because there's some really good information you have to put on there. Like, what are you going to be talking about? What's the issue? What is a potential resolution? And what are you expecting from your steering committee? These are all important things you need to have on that one slide. So 1 slide per approval and or discussion item. But this is the heartbeat of your presentation. By the way, steering committee members love it because it's succinct, it's concise, and you're getting to the heartbeat of what's going on. That is going to really distinguish you. Steering committee action items. Now, not every single presentation that you put together will have steering committee action items. I usually create this as a running list. I find my steering committee are high-level senior executives. They're not part of my action plan, so I don't include them on my project action plan. I got to monitor them in a different way. So I monitor them through the actual presentation. So if we've come up with resolutions and they themselves have some steps, I'll collect that and put it in the presentation so that next time we meet, that is going to be in the next presentation, and I also send them the presentations afterwards, so it's also a way for them to actually have it physically too. So you always want to capture those action items, leave it in the presentation, and monitor it through the presentation. These are individuals that you're not around all the time, and so by having it one-stop shop and what you're going to be presenting to them in your PowerPoint just makes it easier for you and them, more apt for them to actually execute on the tasks too, by the way. All right, and the last section that you have in your presentation, I call next steps. So this is when you're going to have the next meeting, and you're going to highlight to the steering committee what are the potential topics you're going to be talking about. And if you're saying, whoa, Adriana, how do I know what those potential topics are? I'm going to say, whoa, have you done your planning? And if the answer is yes, you will know what those potential topics are. Because if you've done a really good project plan, you have some high-level milestones, you have an idea as to what you need to talk about. So that is really important because it just sets it up for the steering committee to know, our next meeting is a month from now, and there are 5 items that she already has on her agenda that she wants us to talk about. I don't give any detail. I just kind of say, hey, we're going to have to talk about A, B, C, D. Why? Because I know what's coming down the pike, and I want to make sure that they are aware of it as well. So it's just in their mind's eye to know that this steering committee is pretty important, and there's already topics of discussion that we need to have. Now, I also want to clarify something too, just so that we're all clear. This is a PowerPoint presentation that you're doing. What I suggest and have outlined for you is a standard outline. So every single fresh presentation that you will do will have this standard to it. It just ensures that you're not going to miss out on anything. And then when we talk about things from previous meetings, I want you just to cut and paste it and pop it into your brand new presentation following the exact same format. So that is why there are times things can travel from a previous meeting and even move forward to the next meeting. Nothing wrong with that. Just cut and paste and make a fresh presentation using the standard approach. Now that you know how to do a steering committee presentation, you need to hear about the common reasons why projects fail so that those common factors don't derail your project. Make sure you grab the complete guide I have for you by finding the link below this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video and share it with all the professionals you know. If you feel more confident doing your next steering committee presentation, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear how this video helped you. See you in the next one.